So recently I had a conversation with someone of a postmodern persuasion, and it revolved around different topics about philosophy. And the main disagreement was on metaphysics and ontology. So in postmodernity, some thinkers tend to put morality above ontology and metaphysics. And metaphysics is reduced to a game of words, a wordplay, basically. And it's no different from what some of the members of the Circle of Vienna were claiming, that metaphysics is actually meaningless. It's not telling you anything about the world because it's not verifiable, it's not scientific. So it's interesting how postmodernity still has the modernist assumptions in its evaluation of certain branches of philosophy, and how you have, let's say, a different direction that has kind of the same basis as modernity, but it adds a slight shift to the direction in which modernity was going. Nonetheless, the assumptions are still there. The assumptions of modernity live on in postmodernity because you still have empiricism. You still have this biological, let's say, quasi-essentialism that survives, and that is a reference whenever the relativism of, let's say, social constructs goes a bit too far. So if you point out the problems with that relativism, postmodernists usually will come back to a modernist framework, will come back to biology, will come back to, let's say, empiricism. And it's kind of interesting that with all the stuff that is going on, all the revelations that we're having, like the Epstein files and all the UFO disclosure stuff, and the content of and the implication of the Epstein files, and the implications that you have in everything regarding UFOs, everything that ties up to the paranormal and to, let's say, the spiritual dimension of that phenomenon. You have all that stuff that is pushing its way into the mainstream, and people are still clinging to their frameworks. They do not want to give up these outdated frameworks. Academia still works within these limits. Academia still has this postmodernist and modernist limits. And what is postmodernity? What is it doing, actually? Because it's not dealing with the essential questions. It's ignoring them. It's ignoring ontology. It's ignoring metaphysics. It's focusing on morality, as if morality is the first branch of philosophy that gives you the first principles, but it's actually not. Because before you can go into morality, you need to establish what reality is and what are the dynamics of the entities that inhabit reality. You need to establish the axioms of metaphysics, and then you can try to develop a morality based on what the world looks like, what you are observing in the world, what the structure of the world is. But the problem is that in postmodernity, you have a confusion with the social constructs as they are. You have the idea of the patriarchy. You have the idea that these structures are oppressive, these traditional structures like you had in Christianity or in any kind of religion that was dominating in the past, which had this kind of male dominating energy to it. So the idea in postmodernity is to destroy these structures and to ignore the fact that these structures are coming out of nature itself in some way. And I'm not talking about nature and this empiricist way of viewing things. I'm talking about nature as if the nature of reality, like in a more spiritual way. So yeah, postmodernity is confusing the social constructs, these constructs that we are actually living with and which are real. So some of them are real, they are constructs, they are arbitrary, they can be dismantled, they sometimes are oppressive, they sometimes are unfair, but they're conflating these constructs with everything that you can find in metaphysics. And that's a huge mistake. That's a very big mistake. You don't do that. You admit that there is a relative aspect to society and to reality that is kind of arbitrary. You can, let's say, work within that framework and you can change it. You can make new rules and so on. You can destroy the old patterns. You can come with new patterns, but you don't destroy the let's say basic fabric of reality. You don't destroy the idea of hierarchies as they are in reality itself, because they are a feature of reality. You don't just level everything. You don't just make everything horizontal, rhizomatic, like Deleuze. If you do that, then you are losing important elements of reality, and you are inflating morality in a way in which is not healthy. So I wanted to talk a little bit about metaphysics, because metaphysics is actually very important, because you have the axiomatic principles there. You start from the basics, and the basics is what is reality, ontology, and what is God, what is that which creates reality. And I know that when you say God, you will trigger some people. Language kind of matters because it has a baggage, and postmodern people are allergic to certain words. And so if I use the word God, that doesn't sound well to someone of a postmodern persuasion. That doesn't sit well with them for historical reasons and for ideological reasons. But metaphysics is important because it's like you have to understand how reality is structured and how actually modernity reversed the importance of these branches of philosophy. It reversed metaphysics with empiricism. So, in order to have reality, you need something axiomatic, a starting point that you cannot prove. It's something that you cannot observe, actually. And this is why science is fundamentally wrong in its claims about God. And I'm using the term science loosely here. What I mean is the philosophy of empiricism and the philosophy of scientism that is based on this empirical way of viewing things, or actually materialistic way of viewing things. And when you have the first principles, you can start to build up reality on that. But the first principles, you just have to assume them. You cannot prove them. You cannot observe them. This is basic geometry. It's Euclidean geometry. You just need to take those things for granted. But it's important to understand what those things are, even if you cannot experience them, even if they are not empirical, even if they are on, let's say, a fundamental level that cannot be experienced. So this is important because people do not understand what God is. And I didn't understand what God is. I was an atheist. I morphed into someone who was interested in esotericism, and I studied Rudolf Steiner for a while, and I still didn't understand what God was. After I studied Steiner for like 5 or 6 years, and the only thing that made me understand what it was actually referred to with the word God was asking a question about the meaning of the monad and why it is used to represent God. And everything is there. Like, everything you need is in that symbol. And I looked at the point at the center of the monad, and I realized that the point in geometry has 0 dimensions, and that 0 dimensionality actually corresponds with the transcendence that God has. And it's interesting because the point makes up the line, and infinite points make up the line, actually. And 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 doesn't actually give you anything mathematically, if you think about it, but it gives you the line, which is a paradox. And this is also why metaphysics sounds so meaningless in some ways, because when you are looking at the first principles, you only find these kind of paradoxes. You find things which at the first glance they do not make much sense unless you understand, you have the proper concepts to understand what is actually going on. And for me, it has also been important to have some extra sensory experiences and then to create a philosophy or a system that could integrate those experiences and not explain them away. So I didn't just reduce my extrasensory experiences, my out-of-body experiences, my sleep paralysis, my hypnagogic states, my visions, and so on, to brain activity. And I don't think that dreams are just brain activity. I don't think that schizophrenic people are just hallucinating things that do not exist. I think that something in them is making them perceive a reality that they cannot filter properly, and this is what is making them go crazy. And dreams, you have to ask yourself, what about the experience of the dream? What about the subjective experience of the dream? Where does that happen? Because if you talk only about brain activity, you don't have the experience. It's like I'm having the experience of looking at my phone, and that corresponds with brain activity in my brain. And it's as if I'm saying that I only have that brain activity and the phone doesn't exist, my experience of the phone doesn't exist, or it doesn't matter. And the same logic is applied to dreams. It's like, oh, it's just my brain making stuff up. Yeah, but where is it making that stuff up? Where are you smelling the things that you're smelling in a dream? Where are you touching the things that you're touching in a dream? Where are you seeing those things? Where is that subjective experience? Because it's certainly not in the brain. And the most logical thing to do is to postulate another dimension, another realm, another plane where you are having that experience. And these experiences that I had, which are more, let's say, overwhelming than dreams, because they feel more real. They feel as if you are more conscious when you are in them, and you have more control, you're more self-aware, and some of them really feel realer than what we normally call real. And these experiences have been important for me because they prove to me that empirical reality as it is, it's not the only thing. So the modernist assumptions about reality just went away for me. They were just wrong. They contradicted my own experiences, and they contradicted my own system that I have developed from those experiences. So that ground that I had was fertile enough for me to go into metaphysics with concepts that sound really abstract and sound like just a wordplay, but actually they're not. They are the pillars on which reality is created. So the problem with postmodernity is that it's not actually dealing with these fundamental issues. It's only trying to move stuff around above the ontological level, above the metaphysical level, without actually wanting to understand what is the basis on which morality and everything that is in its framework is. So the problem is that people are still stuck in these ideas. They don't want to move forward, and it's a pity.